So this is the FZ-07 by Yamaha. It's a 2015, and it is just a fantastic bike. I just love this thing. And today I'm going to tell you some of my ideas, my opinions on the pros and cons of the FZ-07. We start with the pros. The biggest pro, of course, is just the enjoyment of driving it. It's nimble. It's almost like driving a motocross bike. It's so responsive. It's crazy. And I think that is contributed to Yamaha's design of the bike. The other, or at least the second pro of the FZ-07, it's got to be the price. The retail price of this bike is just under $7,000. Now, of course, you still have to pay, dealer prep and the build. So, it's add on $1,000 with the dealer fees and the tax and all that good stuff. But for $8,000, you're out the door, and that's just fantastic for this quality of bike. Everything just fits perfectly. The fit and finish of this bike are just fantastic. I think another pro would be the popularity. The FZ-07 is just gaining popularity like crazy. So what happens with that is all the manufacturers that make mod parts and all that good stuff we like to put on these bikes, they make more because, a popular bike sells more parts. So that's also a plus. It's definitely a fun riding bike. Another one of the pros would have to be its torque. This bike just has a crazy amount of torque. I mean, I'm still in the break-in period, so I'm trying to keep it under 7,000 RPMs, but still the torque from like 2,500 to 3,000 RPMs up to 7,000. As high as I've been so far. It's just amazing. It's just a fun bike to drive. I'm really happy I got it, and I'm planning on keeping it for a while. So let's get into the cons, I guess. Everything that you have, every bike or every car, whatever, has pros and cons. Cons for this bike, I've read some stuff online, and in my personal opinion, the gas tank's only 3.7 gallons, so it limits your range for any kind of group riding. But for just around town, or from city to city, close by cities, it's plenty of gas. Could be bigger, it could, but then it wouldn't fit like this, because you see how narrow this bike is. Your knees just tuck right in. It's very comfortable, and I guess we're going through the pros again. The upright riding position, definitely a pro of mine. I'm not into leaning over the sport bikes anymore. That's great when you're really young, and they are great bikes, and there's nothing like the sound to me of an inline 4 with a nice pipe on it. But I plan on putting a nice pipe on this too. I'm looking at the Two Brothers S1R. It's from what I can tell, it's the only manufacturer that spent enough time engineering their pipe, their exhaust, that increases performance, power and torque without having to add a fuel management system. And that's kind of important to me, because I don't really want to add a fuel management system if I don't have to. So I mean, it's not like you get great gains without it, but the Two Brothers, I think it's like 3.5 horsepower gain, and it's like 1.4 foot-pounds of torque. Now many of the other exhausts, like the Yoshimura and others, you know, the Graves, very nice. If you add the fuel management system, I'm sure the power increase is even more than the Two Brothers without it. I'm sure it is. But I don't really need that. You know, this bike has got plenty of power for me. So I'll be happy, I think, with the pipe. Just gotta save up some money for that. The other con that I guess is part of having a low-cost bike is the front suspension's a little bit light. Yeah, there's no preload adjusters on top of the shocks. I guess you can add those if you want from, you know, eBay or Revzilla or somewhere. Depends if you want to pay. But so it dives a little bit when you're heavy braking, and I'm sure if you were heading down a twisted road in the mountains where you had to apply a lot of brake for control, it might be an issue for you. I'm not sure how many miles I have now. Let's see if we can find out. Okay. There we go. 147 miles. You guys can see that. And I'm trying to keep it under 7,000 RPMs during the break-in, up to 500. You know, I'm looking forward to the hitting that 10,000 RPM rev limiter area, or a little bit more. I'm not sure where it starts to cut off. But you know, these bikes from Japan, wherever the rev limiter is, you know, when you open up the throttle, it goes, you know, that's fine for these bikes. They're designed to do that. I have no problem hitting that when I'm trying to, you know, do a 0 to 60 time video, or, you know, next to your buddy on the R6, whatever it takes. So I guess another pro would be this fantastic LCD display. It has everything on there you need. I'm trying to tip my head down a little bit so you can see it. See, right now got my high beams on. I don't know, for safety or whatever. Your tachometer is on the bottom there. It shows miles per hour. Everything's digital. The great thing is that right in the center there, that gear, number 4, you know, and here's 5. Next to it is like a computer area where you can show your, you know, your odometer. Also does your miles per gallon, you know, like a fuel calculation. You know, trip meters, tells you engine temperature, outside ambient temperature. On the top here's a clock, and of course the fuel gauge right there on the left side. You can see I've added this GV windscreen. It actually keeps the wind, you know, I'm going 62, you know, nothing terribly fast right now, but it keeps the wind off my chest, so I can feel it off my chest. It's actually just on my neck and my head at this speed. When I added that, it took that force off my chest that made you feel like you're trying to be blown off the bike. I know this is a naked bike, but, you know, adding a little windscreen like that, I think is fine. I'm really happy also that I got rid of those mirrors, the flag mirrors, flag with an L. I just don't like the way they stick up on bikes like that. These bar-end mirrors work very well, except the 2 screws in the back that screw in from behind the mirror into this bracket that vibrates loose. And I tried to pull the other one apart to get to those screws. Couldn't do it. So if you're going to buy these, when you get them, you'll see the 2 screws in the back of that bracket, back of this bracket. Go ahead and put some, you know, 2-part epoxy in the rest of it, so it kind of locks the screw to the bracket casing. That way I don't think it'll vibrate loose on you. You can probably also use like JB Weld from auto parts store. Same kind of thing. But you know, I bought them because they're cheap. Now I'm buying a slightly more expensive pair because they're slightly more money, but still cheap. I can't see spending $80 on mirrors. I just can't do it. I work for a living, but I don't just give my money away. So we turn in here. Just want to turn around. Okay, let's go back the other way. So what happens if you're in 5th or 6th gear, or I guess as Yamaha determines the appropriate speed to save fuel, you get this eco, I guess it's economy light. Little light comes on, and you can see it says ECO in a little bracket. If you get a little throttle, see it goes away. There it is. Whoa, whoa, yeah. So I guess right now I'm saving loads of gas. It's funny, I've gotten, according to the bike, 54. That's right, 54 miles per gallon. If you bought a bike to save gas, well, you probably bought it for the wrong reason. But if it only got 20 miles per gallon with a 3.7 gallon tank, it wouldn't be that fun. So the 54 miles per gallon, it does help. Oh, and I did order some shorty levers in black with a red adjustment lever. China, it says they'll be here in like 4 to 6 weeks. So if you ever wondered how long it took that slow boat to get from China to Florida, well, apparently it's 4 to 6 weeks. So you wouldn't even have to really put on shorties. I just think they look cool because they have that little bent angle in them. And I only use I only want to use my couple fingers for each lever, not the whole hand. I don't want to let go of the entire handlebar just to pull the clutch in, when I can do it easily with my first 2 fingers. My pointer and my 2 finger. So that's it for today. If I get those other Chinese mirrors this week, I'll try to get that video done too. On your FZ-07. So the parts kit comes with the actual windscreen, very nice, by GV. It has the